Hello, everyone. You guys are listening to WGSN-DB Going Solo Network, and we are on the Chick's Passion. I am Cece Schatz, and I have my good friends here with me.
Kathy Lamb, hello. How are you?
Hey, Kathy. And we have Peggy here with us.
Hi, thanks for having me.
It's great to have you. We have Peggy Caruso. She's an executive personal development coach. She's an author of a wonderful book, Take the First Shot. And she also has a few other books. And so you want to share the names of the books with us?
Sure, they're in my Revolutionize series. It's Revolutionize Your Life, Revolutionize Your Child's Life, and Revolutionize Your Corporate Life.
Oh, that's great. And you've been on the show with us before, and we have your information right on our website, which of course you guys know what it is. It's goingsolomedia.com, but I took it off because it's across our faces. So we're going to take it off tonight. But tonight we're going to talk about something I think really important. And Peggy's going to help us because she's a coach and she can kind of steer us in the right direction with this. But we're going to talk about relationship building, take your first shot. So ladies, let's talk about this relationship building. What does it, we already have a comment here already. Let's put that one up. We have a Facebook user that says, hey there, back to you.
There. No, how does it go? Hey there.
Hey, wait, do that one again. Yeah, it could be a girl. You're going to be in trouble. But I tell you what, we're going to talk about this topic. And so, ladies, what do you think about it? Because, when I was thinking about what we should talk about tonight, it came to mind how important relationship building is. And I think sometimes we overlook the importance of really, truly making friends, starting that first step of making friends with people. Like we start dating and all that. And we think of, like Kathy, I think I mentioned to you one time before, is that we think about what we want, like in the relationship as it's going, what we're actually looking for versus are we really just making friends? Are we creating a relationship? Are we building a relationship? So what are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts are Peggy.
Whoever wants to jump in, who wants to jump in?
Go ahead, Kathy.
Well, yeah, I think in the beginning, I just want to get to know the person and with the hopes that, no matter what happens, we'd still be friends. If it doesn't work out, I really, really, don't want to have an enemy. That's for sure. I don't want anybody to be mad at me. But anyways, I just, yeah.
I agree. I think that that's really important to become friends and not to start a relationship with any expectations. I think that people need to just be a little calm and just take it slow and easy and see where it goes.
Yeah, I agree. Take it slow and easy, and what comes. If it doesn't work out, it's just go with the flow, whatever the flow is.
Well, we have Johnny here with us tonight. Hey, Johnny, it's nice to see you again. Thank you for joining the Chick's Passions.
Hey, Johnny.
And also we have Mark. Hey, Mark.
Mark, how are you?
Nice to see you here tonight. Thank you. They follow our show, and we're just so thankful that they do. It's really a blessing. And again, that's all about friendship, right? It's all about relationship building. Someone told me one time, in order to have friends, you have to be a friend. And I think sometimes we overlook that when we're looking, at building relationships.
Yeah, you're right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. I may be not good about that.
So why do you think you're not good about that?
I don't know. It seems like, I want to say, okay, we're going to be friends, and then it's like, okay, they kind of just go away. Every now and then, somebody will stick around, like, we'll bump into each other and say, just go out and do something and be friendly, but it doesn't always happen. When you just say, okay, I want to be friends, and it's like, it's probably because they have, they're serious. They're looking for somebody. And I'm serious too. I'm looking for somebody. But, in the meantime, I'll take all the friends I can have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think friendship's important.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Johnny says here, that's true. You can be friends, but it seems to be that when you are friends, and probably most cases, you get stuck in a friend zone. Oh, Johnny, are you in the friend zone? And you can't get out. Johnny, who are you in the friend zone with?
He's in the friend zone with everybody.
That's another show. Well, okay, let's talk about this. Peggy, maybe you can help us with this a little bit. About when you're trying to let, what he's obviously trying to do is maybe date, get out there and date a little bit. But then what happens is he's a good guy, right? And so he's falling in that friend zone type of thing. Can you suggest anything on building a deeper, more meaningful relationship?
Well, one of the reasons that I wrote my book is because everyone who comes to me, everybody wants everything right now, and so you can't solve problems in less than a minute, but you can take a step toward making it a positive thing. So there are so many different things that you can do even to start out in a relationship that are just small, that maybe that you don't dive in so serious. A lot of people get in a relationship and they do all the big things right from the get-go, and that's what you get. You know what I mean? You set that in your mind that this is what in the beginning is what you get. And so if you can just do realistic things and take it slowly and do small things, just to, like I always say, it takes less than a minute to keep a relationship alive, because it does. Whether it's in the beginning, the middle, or even if you're having difficulty and you think that it's ending, it just takes less than a minute to do something to kind of turn it around. And I think that's what you need to do in the beginning, is take it slow, don't have such high expectations, and just the stuff that Kathy was talking about as well. So
yeah, absolutely. And you're right with that, because as we're starting to build a relationship, we dive in so deeply, don't we, into things, and we deep in the friend zone. Are you deep in the friend zone too, Mark? I mean, what is this? Such as, okay, I don't know about.
What do you mean, Johnny? Such as?
Like that. Remember, we're ladies here. You got to spell it out. But yeah, you so back to what we're talking about. But you're right, Peggy, with regards to doing the smaller things, because when you kind of sugarcoat it and you do these big elaborate, maybe if you're going out, you're doing these big elaborate things, you're not really truly getting to the core of that individual, the core of the person that they are. And so when you want to build a relationship with someone, you have to kind of start from the ground floor and work yourself up to it. And then truly know that, I've got some really good friends. And the reason I know they're really good friends is because I know and I understand more of the depth of them, some of the pains that they've gone through, some of the, the things that makes them happy. So we've really had some deep conversation. And so to me, that's kind of like the smaller things, what you would do in order to build a relationship, wouldn't you? Don't you think?
I do, but I also think you need to have fun too. Like a lot of people dive into a relationship and they instantly go into serious mode, but you need to laugh, you need to have fun, you need to do all those small things. Like I said, just leave the expectations out and you become friends, and it really does work. A lot of people will come and say, whether it's the man or the woman, they'll say, like, when we first started dating, he or she dressed really nice and really took care of themselves, and then after a year, they're always dressed in sweat clothes and things like that. So mix it up a little bit, do a little bit of both. And if your relationship starts to become a little stagnant, then change it up. I always, like I put in my book, like, change your lipstick, change your hairdo, change your cologne. Like, it's just a small little step, but it's something to make the relationship spark a little bit.
And that would go for the guys too, to change stuff a bit too, I think they're really the ones that do need to work on that part of it.
Right. That's what I said, the cologne thing too. Like, it isn't just about the women.
Yeah.
When the guys come in and say, hey, I've married my wife and now she gets home from work and she wants to just, put her sweat clothes on. Okay, well, she's probably tired, and that's okay. But there is so many little things that you can do to kind of redirect and pull it back in.
tequila.
Behind the ears.
I know that song.
That's right. And then here, Johnny says, you can't even get to a date because everybody's friends and they don't want to date. Okay, so let's talk about this because, Johnny, it sounds like you're really kind of troubled with this friend zone thing. All right, Peggy, what would you say, to him is that he's finding that relationships that he's starting to go on, he's dating and he's meeting these, people and then he gets to know, and he's going into like surroundings where friends go, right? And they're having fun. And so and you make friends with each other and you kind of that kind of thing. And then they kind of fall into that circle of being a friend. And how does he go about getting out of that friend zone into saying, hey, I'm interested in you and I'd like to maybe take it a next step? How does he do that?
He just says it.
Just talk it out. Like, it's okay to effectively communicate how you feel, and don't go to a place that is the friend place to go to. Make it a date. Say to whoever, do you want to go on a date tonight? Make it an actual date and communicate how you feel, that maybe you want to do something different and special and I just would like some alone time. I mean, it's easy. Is all you have to do is communicate.
Yeah. Worst that can happen is she says no. Right. You want to be friends.
Right.
Yeah. And I guess if she does say that, right? If he does say, listen, I'd like, I like you. I'd like to get to know you better. I'd like to go on a date with you. And I do think he needs to use the term date so she understands.
Yeah.
We're not just going to go and hang, because that's terrible when a guy will ask you to let's go hang out. And then you're thinking, well, what is this? You're not sure, because I do have male friends and I do hang out. And it's like, not exactly all that we do, and just have a good time. So you want to make sure you do mention, that's what he said. What does he say now? So what happened to the 3 dates to figure out if you want to move into a serious relationship? Well, we'll talk about that. That's another subject. So we can talk about that too. You guys are busy tonight.
No, by the third date, you kind of know. Or by the third date, you kind of know whether you want to continue in a date and date. By that time, you know each other enough to feel like that is something, where you want to go with it.
Yeah. Peggy, what do you think about that 3-date rule? Ever heard of the 3-date rule? That's when you're like supposed to be intimate after the third date, and if you're not, then they're not really that into you. What do you think?
I don't like it. I think that you should just let things happen natural, and I think that's why a lot of them fail, because it's that expectation. Like, after the third date, you're supposed to do this, or it takes 3 dates to do that. If you can just enjoy each other's company and find what you like and let things happen naturally, I think that's key.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Stop with the expectations. If this conversation was for the whole world, we'd be good because everybody would know this page.
That's right, tequila. And I'm wondering, boys, are you guys talking about tequila as you just want to get them a little tipsy? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, they're all going back and forth about the tequila.
I remember somebody that I was friends with. I'm still kind of friends. I talk to him every now and then, but we always kind of joked and laughed and just kind of had a good old time. And he was much younger than me, so I didn't really go for guys that were younger than me. But he talked about the girls and all this. We're just all. And so one night we were just talking and. He starts kind of coming on to me and I'm like, oh, should I let this go or what? And so I sort of kind of, was letting whatever was going to happen. And so he comes over to kiss me and I cracked up laughing because I was like, oh my God, this is a friend. I can't do this. Poor guy. I mean, he was okay after that, but I wasn't laughing at him. I was laughing at the situation. I'm a laugher, especially, I just laugh.
That's a good one.
These guys, I think these guys are having fun with themselves. We don't know, you guys don't see it unless I post it, so I don't know nothing. And then say, Mark, we need to plead the fifth.
Why? Why are you pleading the fifth? What did you do wrong?
Well, okay, here's the thing. I agree with Peggy tremendously, because I think that we go into dating or into any kind of relationship building, we go with our own expectations. And I think if we put those aside, it will definitely make things go a lot smoother, because what we do is we allow ourselves to have the freedom to enjoy, the experience of someone else. And so if it's, like someone says that 3-date rule, or I don't kiss on the first date, or I, whatever, or, whatever you decide to do, it's okay if that's truly what you want to do. And it's sometimes, I think, if we just enjoy the experience of someone, and like you said, allow ourselves to have fun and experience, it's just, I think it just is so much easier, definitely easier. So what's Johnny saying? These guys are funny. They're going back. It doesn't work when you're a friend. That's it. And you should be a friend before you have a relationship, but he never gets past that point. It doesn't work when you're a friend. That's it. And you should be a friend before you have a relationship, but he never gets past that point. Okay, so I think what he's talking again about is getting in that friend zone. So what he's thinking, I guess, if you get it, is that he becomes friends with the individual, and then he can't get past that because he really wants to get into that romance side, because he does feel like you should connect as friends, right?
Well, I agree, but it has to be mutual. Maybe he's choosing the wrong types of people. That's why he can't get past a certain point. And so I would say that he needs to think about what he's really looking for in a person and go from there. Maybe the getting into the friendship mode is another expectation. Maybe instead of thinking about either way, why don't you just go out on a date and see what happens, and just be calm, just laugh, just be yourself, and let things happen the way they're supposed to happen. It sounds like there's just too many rules, too many things, like, like what Kathy was saying and what you said is, who decides that you can't kiss on the first date, or you have to become friends for 3 dates, and then, think about it. You're really not going to become friends in 3 dates. So I think if it's just the way that they're looking at it.
Mm-hmm. Well, the other thing I'm thinking, Kathy, what do you think too, is that when I hear that, it's like, where's the romance? Because when you're dating, it's about it's really truly about the dance of the romance.
It is. It really is. And, if you want to swoo a woman, maybe you need to add that part into it when you do the date. And when she says yes, definitely put that romance in there, Johnny.
Yeah, that might be what the thing is, because I don't know about you, but when I first when I'm dating, when I first go out with a guy, I'm thinking about the romance stuff. Yeah. I'm not thinking about, I need a best friend. I want it to develop into my best friend.
There's got to be, you got to impress her, and she, that's part of what it is. Some guys really get that, but that's just the way we work.
Yeah, this is what Mark says. Cece, do you date to meet friends or to find true love? I don't go on a date because I look at women and say, yeah, I want to be a friend. Exactly. That's exactly my point. I don't date to make. I mean, I think that sometimes it will develop into a friendship if it doesn't work out, or even if it does work out, it develops into a friendship. But I think when you're first initially dating, I don't think you're really thinking like, hey, let me go out and meet 10 people as friends today. I'm going to go out.
There's kind of a difference.
Right. I'm saying, he looks like a good friend.
Well, there's kind of a difference in the way you meet, whether or not you go out to be, as friends, or you go out on a date. I mean, like if you met somebody, in the grocery store, and you kind of started talking, and you'd say, oh, would you like to go out to dinner? And you kind of clicked right there, and that would be a date. Now, when you meet somebody like at one of the meetup groups, and you're kind of, you're being friends, and you're going out together, and you're doing stuff, and it's kind of a friend thing. And, or if you're meeting from a dating site, it's just a meeting. And so, that's different, how you meet, on how you go further.
What do you think, Peggy?
I would agree with that. I mean, I just think that it sounds like everyone's making it too hard than it needs to be. Just, of course, if you're single, you are looking for true love someday, some way, somehow, but you don't have to say the first person that you choose to go out with, this is the person that I got to fall in love with.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I say all the time. Just because you meet, it doesn't mean that you're compatible.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. But I think that we shouldn't kid ourselves that when we are in, like, for instance, the meetup groups, which are single people getting together, don't kid yourself. You're there looking.
Sure.
Yeah. You're there looking, and you're there to see if you do connect with someone. And if you do connect with someone, you're not necessarily their friend yet. You're, and so that's the time to, Johnny said, hey, Mike, I'll meet you in Dunedin. So he says, yeah. So, but anyhow, so I think that, but I think we have to be honest with ourselves. If we're truly looking for a partner in life, and we're in an environment where there's people, we're looking, our antennas are out and in
the meetup groups, it's a little bit different, because you're in a crowd of people, and you're kind of looking to see, is this person a player? Have they been out with all the other women in the group first? And are there, it's a lot of, it's just different when you're meeting them. You're trying to explore and see what kind of person they are, and you have the opportunity to do that when the meetup groups. It's really a good thing to do that.
Cece and Kathy, when we were all talking earlier about like the romance, okay. But I also think people need to understand that don't start something that you're not going to continue forever. Because I have so many people who will come in with relationship issues that say, okay, well, the first year they opened the car door, they bought flowers, they sent me notes, they did this, they did that. And then the next year, one of them dropped off, and I kept saying like, oh, well, they still do the other 4. And then the next year, something else. And after 5 years, they say there's no romance. So when you do romantic things, I think that you have to say, is this a realistic thing that I'm going to do for a long time or forever, or keep doing romantic things? So I think if people were really honest right up front of this is the kind of person I am, I don't do romance, tell them that.
Yeah, it's good to know.
Yeah, it is.
And when they don't like it, you move on. Yeah. Yeah. Well, Mark, I know you're listening.
That takes them off the list.
Mark was married to my good friend Tammy for years, and their romance, I was jealous, actually. Their romance was just off the charts. Yeah. And it was just something that it's a bond they had together, something that they shared. And so, I mean, I think you have to truly be true to the core of who you are. And so, like you said, if you're kind of a romantic kind of guy, which I think Mark definitely is, he's a gentleman. He's very caring, loving, giving person. He showed that, throughout his whole entire relationship with Tammy, and then with also, me as being Tammy's friend, and we saw all that as we went along. So, when we're talking about relationship building, it's not always about what I want to get. It's also about what I'm willing to give to someone else. Mm-hmm. And I think that sometimes is lacking. So as we're dating and building relationships and meeting people.
Yes, and the guy says, if you're giving and giving and giving, and she's not, giving back. I mean, I'm not talking sexually now. She's not giving back and satisfying you with emotionally, then she's probably just a taker,
or just not into you.
So
Yeah,
or not into. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's what about fear? So a lot of times I think fear holds us back from really going that next step into relationship building. What do you think, Peggy?
I think fear is just something you create in your mind and you sabotage yourself. So it is a negative because you let it override in your mind, and then it does become a saboteur, and then it becomes a negative, and it plays a negative role in your relationship.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, a lot of people they bring their last relationship to the relationship, and it ruins everything because they, the last person cheated on them. They're going to be suspicious of you, and just different things. Not just that, but yeah.
Okay, so here's a couple of things I want to put up here. Johnny says, "I'm sorry, Cece. I think that I want to get back what I give out."
Yes, you should.
Sure. Yes, I agree.
Like I said.
And she should want to give that to you.
Yeah.
If it's the right match, when you're being generous with your heart, your time, and all of that, it should be a mirror, right? You should kind of get back what you're.
Because when you're giving and she's giving, that it's mutual. You both are into each other. Mm-hmm. And if only one person is doing it, then it's just a relationship that you think you're having that, you're not really having. I don't think I said that right, but.
Okay, here's what Mark says. "We talked on the phone for 3 months, and our first date, I told her I wanted to be exclusive. I get the friend aspect, but a man knows what he wants." There you go. See, and that's where Johnny is kind of getting a little bit of hitting a brick wall, is that he knows what he wants, but it's not really, and she's thinking we're in the friend zone, and so there's some sort of communication. Don't you think, Peggy, a little bit of a communication problem going on?
Absolutely. I think communication is a key in every relationship, whether it's a friendship or, a significant other in any way. I just think if you are very honest and upfront, and it's kind of like, Kathy, what you were saying, that I think that if you just are upfront and communicate what it is that you're looking for, you don't waste all that time. And, I'd rather go through 10 conversations to get to the right person than I would to play the games to keep it going for a while. And then you waste time. You really do. Time, your heart.
And it's, when you go ahead and say whatever it is, you get it off your shoulders. You don't have to sit there and say, "Oh, am I going to say this?" And, and drag things out. And, it's a burden to hold it there.
Yes. Okay, so we have another question here. Ken's joining us. Hey, Ken. It's nice to see you joining us tonight.
How are you, Ken?
Okay, he writes, "With this COVID thing going on, how can a couple really learn about each other, let alone look for romance?" That's a good question.
Well,
so what can we do? What do you think?
There's many things you can do for romance. Like I said, you can make a dinner at home. You can write a note. You can turn the lights down. You can buy the bottle of wine, whatever you like, and you can take that person to dinner right in your home. You can turn the music on. You can dance. I love to dance in the kitchen. I think it's fun. And so, it's all what you make of it. You can do. There's thousands of things that you could do. Just because you can't go out into a public place, you can still make it nice.
So how do you, if you haven't met each other, like you're just beginning the dating, you're just talking online or whatever, you've just connected over the phone, how do you start your relationship, building your relationship?
Funny you have to say that, because I was reading an article about that yesterday. In fact, it's like, well, okay, you're not going to meet because you're not too sure about the germs yet, so I read that you could do something like you can cook dinner online together. You can cook the same recipe, and be on video, like Facebook video, and do it together and talk about what you're cooking. And, that could be really fun to do that. There were some other ideas. That's the only one I think of right now, but
it's absolutely true. Let's say two people like wine. You could each pour a glass of wine and see each other on the screen, and just like you're in person. So
yeah.
Many things that you can do that you just have to be creative and think about it. But it's just what Kathy said. I think the cooking online, I think, is a fantastic idea.
I think so too.
Mm-hmm.
But, what I think is kind of missing here when we talk about the, we think, okay, because we haven't met in person, we can meet online. We can, Zoom is available and it's free if you just do a 30-minute, 30-minute ones. But you get the essence of someone when you do that. And it's really about communication. Again, you mentioned that, but it's about building that, it's about building that kind of story together, right? It's like you have this journey that you're starting to create together. And so if you're willing to build that, when it struck me because Mark said he had talked to Tammy on the phone for 3 months, right? I first met my ex-husband. He lived in England and I lived here. That's all we did was talk on the phone. Sure. But we were able to continue to build a relationship that way.
But had you met him in person before during that time?
Who, me?
Uh-huh.
I met him for a weekend. I met him on
at least you met him now. I was curious about Mark, if he had met the woman.
I don't know, Mark, if he met. So Mark, we're gonna do a Zoom and do chicken parmesan. I see. We're gonna do chicken parmesan, guys. I'm not a very good cook, so this could blow it for me.
I like my air fryer.
So we could be in serious trouble here. Let's see. Let me go back and read some of these. We have to be honest at all times. You can't be afraid to be yourself. That's, maybe that's truly what some of it is, being afraid of being yourself. Here's Johnny says, absolutely. You have to have communication. But what am I going to say? I'd like to take you out on a date and I'm looking for a serious relationship. Hell yeah, say it. I don't feel that it's right. I put my best foot forward. I am a nice guy, and I think Kathy can attest to that. Kathy, can you attest to that? I hope, but I want to make that other person feel special and be happy. But I don't want to the point where I feel that specialty. I think you're missing it. What do you think, Peggy? I don't think he's being clear enough and saying, hey, I want to go on a date with you. I like you,
Yeah, you can say that I'm looking
for when you ask somebody out on a
Go ahead, Kathy.
What? Her internet.
That you should say, I'm looking for a serious relationship. I'm not on a date. And no, I think you just say, I'd like to go out with you and spend some time with you and get to know you. And then when you're on the date, then you can discuss that you're looking for a serious relationship and what are they looking for,
But you can also say that you're looking for a serious relationship, but that doesn't necessarily mean I'm not trying to scare you away. I don't think we need to make this a serious relationship tonight, but I'm just trying to tell you this is what I'm looking for, because I have a lot of people who will come into my office and they'll say the second that they tell me I want a serious relationship, if they're not ready, they just say, I'm not even remotely ready to have a serious relationship. So let's just be friends. So as long as you communicate, you will see what both of you are looking for.
Yeah. I agree. I just really do. I think he's just be upfront. I mean, if a guy came to me and I had seen him a few times at a meetup or whatever, and I thought he was a nice guy, funny, attractive, all of those things, and he said, hey, I don't know how you feel, but I am looking for someone. I am looking for a partner in life, and so I'm here hoping I'll meet someone and I find you attractive or whatever, and could we go on a date? I'd be very flattered,
Mm-hmm.
And if she says no, then
there's nothing wrong with going on a date and seeing if it, where it leads, if let whatever flows.
Yeah. And if they're not ready for a serious relationship, they should say that.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Why don't you, if she looks you in the eye, say, I just want to fool around, are you going to say no?
It's right.
I just want to be friends, so let's fool around. And he's going to say, oh, no, really? I'm sorry. I goof around. This show, we kind of goof around. Okay, so I wanted to bring this up because I thought this was important. Mark said he never met Tammy. So he talked to her for 3 months on the phone. I called my attorney and I talked to her. So Tammy was a secretary, legal secretary. Then she went on to work at the judge's office. So that's how I knew Tammy was. We both were paralegals, both legal secretaries and paralegals. So that's how he met her, was through that. So yeah, absolutely.
You're one of the special ones, because I don't think I could handle talking to somebody for 3 months without meeting them, and then meeting them. Meeting is important. That's part of getting to know the person and their mannerisms and all that. That's
okay. Watch, listen to this. Man up and tell her in your heart you are.
Okay. That worked for you.
And then I like this. Let your you're funny.
Man up and tell her what is in your heart.
Yeah. That you're an Italian. And then just let your flag.
I like that.
Yeah. Sometimes, what do you guys think? Sometimes we are so worried about maybe being proper, that we kind of kill the deal, right? We kind of hurt a step on our own feet,
Okay. This is Peggy, why don't you answer this one, and then I'll get on after that.
No, go ahead.
Oh, okay. So, it's a weird thing, this being proper business and just, I don't know. Gosh, how do I explain this? Some guys you really like them, and you would like to, be a part of their life, and you don't know, what he's expecting from you. And so you're like, well, should I be loose or should I be proper? Should I be like, So I usually screw everything up by being proper, because that's just the way I am. And so I think some guys just run away from that because they want to hurry up. And maybe they're just thinking that's all they really wanted was to, sleep with as many women as they possibly could. And I guess, my thoughts are like, well, okay, I guess it really wasn't worth it then to spend the time with them. They wouldn't have been worth it.
Right. That's why I think everyone should just be honest up front.
I mean, back in the 60s, everybody was like, you know how it was. But we're not like that.
I was a baby.
We've grown up. And we're mature. We know what we want, and so things are different.
Mm-hmm. All right, here's the bottom line. I think for me that if I'm not real, right? If I try to be something that I'm not, if I'm not true to myself, I'm not true to my core. If I'm, like sometimes I'm goofy and I do certain things. Sometimes I'm very serious, and so there's all these different sides to me. And if I'm not genuine as to who I am, then if this person that's coming into my life doesn't see all those aspects of me and accept me for who I am, then he's not the right person, And so as we're traveling down that road of meeting people, we just have to be who we are and go at the pace we feel comfortable with.
Yes.
You know, I mean, I don't show someone all my sides because it's not, that might freak them out at the beginning, right?
And that is
easy with 1,000 personalities, but no, I'm kidding. I'm not like that. But it's true, you know. I think there's facets to our being, right?
That is
Yeah, you're breaking up. Yeah, we can't.
You know, I think it's a special guy who would who's. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
No,
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? You can?
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's a special guy who, I mean, I'm always impressed with a guy who can, you know, I have my insecurities and my Billy Joe said best, send up a sign and I'll throw you a line. Good. Mm-hmm. So, you know, we all have our insecurities, and some of them are worse than others. And when I meet a guy who's like, wow, he'll take me for all of my insecurities, you know, and I think it's really cool, you know, for a guy to admire you and accept you for who you are, you know, just like a woman to do that for a man too, because we're older now. We're not as pretty as we were when we were 16. And if all of that is accepted, that's really great.
Well said.
Well, you know, we want someone to love us where we're at, right? Just love us where we're at. Enjoy who we are, and the same thing with the guys. I mean, everything I say for women, I mean exactly for men. So it's the same. You know, our time has gone by very quickly, and so Peggy, and I want to thank you so much for being on the show, because this is very fun. It's just a goofy kind of show, and we want to just kind of keep it's not like some of our other shows are a little bit more formatted. But tell us a little bit about your journey with your books and where we can find your books and all of that, because I think it's important for those out there listening know what a quality lady you are and what you have given to your profession, and share it with other people. So we'll take a few minutes for you to do that.
Well, thank you for that. As you said in the beginning, I do executive and personal development coach, and I've owned 8 businesses and I've written books. But my latest book, Take the First Shot, it's over 100 strategies to help people like we're talking, is to take a step. I think part of the problems that people have is knowing what step to take, and always thinking they have to take the big steps and do the big plans. You absolutely need a plan of action in every aspect of your life. But if you just begin by taking a small step, it's a motivator. And I'm all about motivating people. I do motivational minutes every day and things like that. So don't put so much pressure on yourself. Have fun. And my website is Life Coaching and Beyond. And if you need any help, reach out to me.
Yeah, definitely. And again, your books are right there on Amazon, and check out her website, because everything is right there on your website. And so we have all of her information up on our website. Of course, you guys know that's on goingsolomedia.com. And Kathy, you want to say anything on the closing words?
No, I just didn't catch what that website was, but you said that it's on I look for it online, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a good book. So definitely should get it. It's a very good book. Actually, I have it. But
this was a really good topic. This is a good topic.
Thanks, Kathy. It was really nice meeting you as well, and it was fun. Thanks.
Yeah. So as you can see, Kathy and I are very good friends, and it's just really great being together. And I love it. You guys, thank you so much. We had a great chat here tonight with Johnny. Always, Johnny, you're so wonderful being able to connect with us, and we hope we can help you.
Johnny's
and Mark, of course, we love you guys. So thank you for joining us. Those out there that were listening and you did make a comment, please do, because it's we just really, really enjoy the comments that come across, and we kind of cut up, and some of it's fun, but we do take it seriously. If you do have any questions or anything like that, we want to try to help you move along. So, all right. Well, good night. Yes, Barnes & Noble. Some books are at Barnes & Noble. So it is definitely there. But if you check out our website, you can find out all that information there. We want to be able to share that. So Peggy, again, let me put up your information so everybody has it. So here is your information. This was our topic tonight. And of course, Peggy Caruso, she's the executive personal development coach, author, and she's had several businesses. Here is her information. I should put this up when we were talking. But if you guys want to reach her, her email is it's pcaruso @lifecoaching.com. And then is it .comcastbiz.net? Okay. And then the website is lifecoachingandbeyond.com. So again, I'm going to say that so we have it on the audio. It's lifecoachingandbeyond.com. And it's Peggy Caruso, and it's PEGGYCARUSO. So, and she's the author of several wonderful books. So please look her up and go on her website and get the information. So you guys, thank you so much for being on the Chicks Passion Show. We enjoyed it so much, and we love it. So we'll see you back here in like a bi-weekly week after next. The week after next. So bi-weekly, we do a bi-weekly show at 9 p.m. So next week we'll be here with the boy and girl thing. So you can catch us there. So thank you, ladies, very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks, Kathy.
Okay. Bye. All right, you guys listening to WGSN-DB Going Solo Network. We are the #1 internet singles talk network.
Thank you, Peggy.
Thank you. Bye for now.
Thanks.
Bye.